Hey everybody, coming to you from the great state of Louisiana here in these crazy United States on this crazy planet spinning out of control in this vast, crazy universe we call life. It is me, SimplySuperDave, coming at you with another episode of Staying Super tonight. It's pretty simple. It's don't fall for the bullshit. Really, folks, I don't know. I don't even know why I keep talking sometimes. But I keep believing. You know, it's like that fucking song, you know. You just got to keep believing, right? And what I'm getting to is just the way things are going. I know, you know, I keep telling myself it's a learning curve. The internet, everybody being connected. And, I had this fascinating thought a while ago. When the internet happened and this other world existed where everybody could voice their opinions and post things and be themselves, really bring about the individual, there's a lot of countries here that don't play that ball game. They don't like that freedom of expression or questioning authority or critical thinking or seeing outside information from other places. And as the internet has grown older, government has gotten way more involved, and of course now there's laws and all kinds of regulations and things like that. But the more I watch it, the more I think, wow, don't those people hate living in a country they can't be freely expressive of who they are? And here we are fighting amongst ourselves, just letting our own government itch their way to becoming just like every other country's government. See, that's the reason why it's so fucking crazy here, is because we have this power and they're not willing to accept or even say it out loud. There's a few politicians out there, don't get me wrong, they're not all like this, but the ones that have been there for, I mean, come on. What job will you allow someone who fails miserably or does bad things in their real life that you would cancel anybody else for, but yet you would let them continue to spend decades, literally decades, in office making decisions that regulate your life when their lifestyle is so above yours, they have no fucking clue what you're dealing with. I made a post 8 years ago about how we need to do something about getting these old people out of there. No offense to old people. I'm not, if you run at 40 and you get in there and whatever, that's cool. But if you've been in there since your fucking teens or 20s or late 30s and then you're 80 something, that's 50 fucking years, man. 40 plus years Joe Biden's been in office doing things and saying the most racist things I've ever heard. Not once have I heard the things that I've heard from Joe Biden spoke even by Donald Trump, much less about the man. And I'm not endorsing Donald Trump, by far none, but I will take that back if these are the two choices I'm going to be given again, okay? You know, but I'm not going to vote that way. I'm going to stick to my third-party voting, you know me. But for you, I've given up on all of you. I know you're going to vote for one of the two because you're not going to do the right thing, obviously, and vote for a third-party person or vote for outside of the two parties that are fucking you up the ass on a daily basis. If you go pay for $20 of groceries, you pick out $20 worth of groceries and you're paying nearly $100 when you get at the checkout, obviously the math doesn't come up right? I mean, just think about how things, not just the way they were, but the way they were trending, and then this sudden explosion. And it's all because of these great, wonderful government bills that keep getting passed with all these leaflets and earmarks attached to them that I thought we'd done away with that. If they spend all day and we have technology where they can make Zoom calls in the middle of the night and shit, can't we get these fucking people to go over bill by bill and actually earn their fucking money? I mean, what the fuck? I don't think they should be allowed to campaign. If you're campaigning, you're taking care of business while you're on the road. If you're not doing nothing but campaigning, you're not doing your fucking job. The money incentives for politicians, it's a civil servant. I mean, It's a job that was reserved for people that really want to do it, not because they want to become rich. The motivation factor for our politicians in our country right now are completely corrupted by both sides. I don't care how many good politicians. Jeff Jackson, that is one dude I really like a lot. He could be manipulating the shit out of me. I don't know. But right now, I dig him because he actually comes forward, talks in a plain fucking layman's turn voice. He explains things that are going on and how Congress really works from behind the closed doors. I like it. It's a little wrestling thing there. You know, you watch the show and then you find out what they're really like back. It changes the whole perception of things, folks. And more politicians, Jeff Jackson, I suggest you look him up. He's on TikTok. He's got a great TikTok channel, folks. I really suggest you follow him. That way, even it doesn't matter what side you're on, he's just a straight up good politician. Okay? And I don't endorse very many people, but Jeff, that dude is pretty awesome. I like him a lot. If he was on the ballot, I would consider voting for him. I would hope that he gets transferred to a third party. I would love to see the two parties broken up. I would love to have them continue to go crazy as they did the past 4 years with Donald Trump in there. Not because it was Donald Trump. It was because he was an outsider. He wasn't part of the group, you know. He wasn't part of the clique. He was an outsider that was popular. It was almost, if you want to refer to wrestling, he was like the Stone Cold Steve Austin, while you had, you know, Degeneration X going on. Everybody thought they would be the biggest thing, but here you got this loner that fucks up everything. It's just the grand scheme of things. They did it, you know, obviously I'm a wrestling fan. Grew up on it. You know, that's why I can see past all the fucking shit I see in front of me and wonder what's going on behind closed doors. What's going on behind the scenes? Who's making the decisions? Why is things playing out like this? And was they meant to play out like? I love when things don't play out the way anybody seems and throws things off and makes everybody kind of reset every now and then. I know that seems a little crazy to say, but that's life. It's going to happen that way, so you might as well look forward to it instead of being in fear of it. And a lot of these things in life are made to keep you fearful. Really, if you're finding out they're having congressional hearings about aliens and UFOs and how everything you've ever known was basically true. And it just really reverberates every other thing just about to the point where it's going to come out of the woodworks. But what about the client Epstein list? All right. What about that client list? I want the Epstein client list. I am not if we can handle UFOs, I can handle some people I maybe admired at one point or hold high in stature on this list of people that have a sick fetish that I would rather not support and watch any of their movies ever again for the rest of my life. That is something I would like to be able to make a decision about, and holding that information back is not justice. It's pretty much the opposite of. It shows you just how much money can rule this area and this country, and how the reason why the movie Sound of Freedom is so successful and getting so much support, and how people, I even think now, Donald Trump, I have to admit, as far as a politician goes, he really does resonate a lot of the things that the average person is thinking, like, why aren't there heavier laws on human trafficking? Okay, well, he's suggesting they should be a death penalty. Now, that's where the divide's going to happen, and people are it's going to be about the death penalty shit. But harsher laws, I think, is a good compromise. Maybe not the death penalty, but the rest of life in prison, getting raped by other men, I think would be a great substitute. Oh, yeah, we're going to make you squeal like a pig tonight, baby. Whee! Yeah, you got to love it. I think that there does need to definitely be heavier laws on human trafficking now that issue has been brought up. And obviously, plain to see, it's funny how Hollywood shut down. And it's all about, look, I feel bad for you Hollywood people. Oh, I laugh because I've already been through your pain. I went to college expecting film to be the way things were in the film industry, and everything changed over to digital, and everybody can make movies from their house and shit. And I was like, well, this isn't special anymore. So I did not care to learn the new way. I wanted to handle film. I wanted to be a filmmaker. And you know what? I can still do that. It's just way more expensive now. But anyway, I digress to the point where I lost my dream in Hollywood. Probably about 20 20 years ago, maybe a little bit more than 20 years ago, maybe let's say 25 years ago. I would say it was before I went to Las Vegas, or maybe it was when I came back. Man, I really can't remember. It might have been after I came back, so it might have been less than 20 years ago. Either way, Dave's had a whole long life, folks. I'm telling you, I got stories for days. Like I said, check out the previous podcast if you haven't. Stories about me being in the military, how I got out of the military. Yes, my suicide attempt in Las Vegas. All kinds of things that have transitioned me to be the staying super in this wonderful, crazy world that it is. And that's why I do the podcast. If anything else, if I'm gone for whatever reason, then if anybody is interested in even knowing or remembering who the hell I was, then you have this infinite volume of podcasts to go listen to. And you'll remember that, honestly, based on everything you've heard in these podcasts, I'm not really gone at all, am I? If you hear me in your head, then we're connected somehow. A little energy that we share, whether it's in the philosophy of things or just the way I look at life, and you feel the same way. Or you feel the same frustrations, or you question the same things, even if you have different answers than me. I respect it all because I love the critical thinking. That's all the podcast is created for, is to make you think, to go down rabbit holes that you're not supposed to because you're not supposed to. That's the whole point of freedom, is to be able to do things that you weren't supposed to be able to do. It's like being a child, finally turning 18 after years of rule in a parent's house, and finally you become free. Freedom! And then you go get ice cream at 2 o'clock in the morning. You do abnormal things you never done before, only because you want to experience them. And that is how I treated my whole life. And when I went to the military, it just humbled me so much more, to the point where I am more than grateful for my shitty, stressful, painful life at times. Had a really tough day today, but pulled through it. Figured I got probably, a little bit of time left in the tank, but if anything else, this will be here for everybody to remember, to always stay super. Even if I'm not around, I would hope the love and laughter would continue, to be humble and to be golden, and to never let go of life, no matter what, to remember it's your bubble, to remember it's your energy. That's what propels you out of bed every morning. That's what lays your head down every night. And the thoughts that run through your dreams, all of that is all your world. It's all your perception. It's all in this moment. There is no past. There is no future. You are living in the moment. Always, 24/7, 7 days a week, 365 days out of the year. Or whatever it is, based on that's the information that we've been told. Now, if you're able to question the fact that how did they know how many days in the year and all that, is all that real factual? There is no such fucking thing as any of it. It's just life. If you choose to be a part of society and play along with the big monopoly game, then go ahead, do so. Play along. Remember, though, there's going to be times where you can't pass go and you can't collect $200 and you got to go directly to jail. Just because you were in the wrong place at the wrong time because of the roll of the dice. It's a lot like life and how it works. Land in the wrong spot, man, that rent's pretty high. You got to find a better place. Hell, there's a lot of going on over here. There's a sacrifice to pay. All kinds of wonderful ways in life that can end you in a heartbeat, from an insect or a spider jumping out of a plane and the chute don't open. Whatever it is that takes you out, you have no idea or when it's coming. You might have a general idea. You may be one of the lucky ones who get diagnosed with a disease and you get to fade away into the nothingness in the nice, comfortable bed with your family around you. If you get one of those lucky blessings, never take that for granted. And kind of makes me wonder if all the other times when I was in those situations and I watched them sometimes cry because maybe they're so happy because this is exactly, they knew, that's that moment. A lot of us don't get that. It kind of comes sudden, quick, out of nowhere, not expecting it. Get up for your day and not planning not to make it to the end of it. So, why not vote third party? You see what I did there? Fuck it all. Be free. The rest of the country's got to be censored and regulated to the point where they can't speak their minds, or if they're gay, they're going to get put in prison or put to death. Choosing the way their lives to be lived, or however you want to be. That's what's important. Nobody's taking that away from anybody. If anything, we're expanding that in this country. And if your hate is seeing somebody else do something, but it doesn't hinder what you are able to do, then get over it. If you have to intermix with it, we'll find a different place to go to. Find a better town. Whatever. But life moves on. And you Hollywood people, I think Hollywood shut down for a different reason. But if it's not, y'all just have to accept that AI and CGI and all that neat stuff has been taking away your jobs for a very long time. So this is really nothing new to me. I don't know why they're saying back, like Harrison Ford. That's great. That means when he's dead, I can still watch more Indiana Jones films. Sorry. That's coming from the consumer. All right. So deal with it. Get in the business. Learn computers. Yeah, it's not the same, is it? But that's where the life is headed. If you're not in the digital world, then you're probably going to get left behind when it comes to the money-making jobs in the future. I picked the wrong path personally myself. I found the physical labor way of doing things, and I'm right where I expected to be. It's okay, though. I don't really need much to be happy. There's times where I want, but I was taught as long as I have what I need, what I want, I can do without. So remember, folks, stay humble, be golden. And remember, the only thing that conquers that hate and fear out there is that love and laughter that's deep in your heart. Be a conqueror, bust down those walls, find your freedom, and never let it go.